All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I think we've got everybody through the line, so continue to eat, make yourselves to home. It's good to hear the chatter and everybody laughing, so it's good to be out. Great crowd. When they told me how many we were going to have, I told them, I was like, this feels like an annual dinner, so Alex, we got a good crowd. It's going to be a good day. Welcome. I'm Doug Lawson. I'm the chamber chairman this year. I'm president of Field and Main Bank and delighted to have this opportunity to kick off today's events. Welcome to our Henderson County State of the Union. We've got two speakers that are going to really take care of the day. We've got some presentations that we're going to make. But more than anything, enjoy yourselves in the next little bit. Hope you enjoyed your lunch. My friend Eric Gardner down here is the chairman of our Government Affairs Committee. He's going to co-MC with me, so we appreciate that. But this few house cleaning items, the lunch. Can I get a round of applause from our friends at Golden Corral? Yep. Always good. And our host, friends here at One Life Church, are hosting us, and we want to tell them how much we appreciate this facility, their efforts, and their time. Thank you for that. Okay. Like any good luncheon, you can't have good food and a good place to hang out if you don't have good sponsors. So if you would, I'm going to recognize 11 sponsors who are instrumental to this event and this day. If you see our friends from Audubon Metals, please tell them thank you. Century Aluminum, Deaconess Hospital, Ellis Park Racing and Gaming, Hafer. Oh, by the way, Hafer, I didn't get to eat the Golden Corral, but the Hafer wafer made for a good lunch. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Yeah. Okay, and there will be no Hafer wafers left on the table. I think there's a few people making a collection right now. Our friends at Henderson Municipal Power and Light, thank you for your sponsorship. Next Era Energy Resources, thank you. Old National Bank was a sponsor day. We appreciate that. Owensboro Health, thank you. Our friends at Regal Inc. and Tyson Foods. If you would, round of applause for all of our sponsors and what they do for us. If I could ask Father Rich Martindale to the stage, I asked him earlier, I was like, are you strong enough to pray for food we've already eaten? And he said, yes, he could do that. So, Father Rich, the microphone is yours. Thank you, sir.
The noise of chairs scooting back from the table, if I asked you to stand, would be ridiculous. So, right where you are, let's pray. Heavenly Father, in your word, you have given us a vision of that holy city to which the nations of the world bring their glory. And when you came among us, you proclaimed the kingdom of God in villages, towns, and in lonely places. Behold and be present, we pray, with all of Henderson, for our city and for all the communities of this county. Defend, renew, and deepen the ties of dignity and mutual respect that knit together the fabric of our common life. Raise up among us always leaders who are forthright and capable, women and men who value not so much the pride of position, but the true joy of service to our community. Help us each, we pray, to do what lies within us, to eliminate poverty, prejudice, and oppression from among us, that peace may prevail with righteousness and order may prevail with justice, that men and women from different backgrounds and with divergent thoughts and talents may each one reap the full beauty and benefit of this lovely and gracious community. We ask all this through your holy name, that we may find in you and together with one another the faithful fulfillment of our common humanity. Amen.
Thank you, Doug and Father Rich. As Doug mentioned, my name is Eric Gardner. I'm the chair of the Government Affairs Committee, and good to be with you today, and glad we could get together back in person for this year. As you recall, last year we did this via social media of how we delivered the state of the city, state of the county. But the piece that we missed was the opportunity for some of our civic organizations to gather with us, tell us some of their accomplishments of the year, and then recognize some of the champions within their group. So look forward to hearing from them today. At this time, we'd like to recognize our 2022 Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. So if you're a Chamber board member, board director, I ask you to stand today. The Government Affairs Committee members that are with us today, I would like to ask you to stand as well and be recognized. Appreciate all the hard work and commitment from these committee members. As you may know or may not know, some of the areas that they participate in, the legislative preview and review, the state of the city, state of the county, the candidate forums, and community conversations throughout the year. So thank you for your hard work on that. Our president, Lindsay LaCosta, is currently at the Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives Conference in Indianapolis today, but she would like to thank her staff and the board for all they do for the organization. So sorry Lindsay couldn't be with us today. If you are an elected official, please stand to be recognized at this time as well. Very good, and thank you for all you do for our community. At this time, I'd like to have Scott Davis with Field and Main Bank and John Cox and John Hughes with the Kentucky Chamber come up to the stage.
Thank you, Eric. I have the privilege and honor of being a member of the Kentucky Chamber Board of Directors, so I get to stand alongside these fellows from Kentucky Chamber staff. We're going to present an award today, and in John Cox's hand you see this highly coveted MVP bat that is awarded to legislators who are real champions of the business agenda that the Kentucky Chamber has to champion. And not only is just the voting record of our legislators who get this award, they have to do something above and beyond just their voting record to achieve this distinction. And we want to present this to Representative Jonathan Dixon. So Jonathan, make your way up here if you would. Doesn't exactly have the right description, but we're working on that. One of the things that Jonathan did was to champion House Bill 708, which has to do with benefit cliffs that allows those on public assistance to transition into an employment scenario that would not cause them to diminish their benefits. And that's a real factor in our workforce participation in this state needs some attention and some effort. And so to address that, Jonathan and a couple other legislators championed a bill to help get more of our families working. So thank you so much for your good work, and we appreciate what you've done. We need to get a picture up here with everybody. Somebody. Brandon, you get capturing us from the arm. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Let me just add real quick. I have to give a shout out to the Henderson Chamber because we go all around the state and interact with local chambers all over Kentucky. And Henderson has been under Ellen and now Lindsay hasn't missed a beat. You guys have been great, and we really just appreciate being able to call on you all and if we have legislative issues at the state level and how responsive and how engaged the whole community is. So we really appreciate that. Thank you all.
Well, congratulations, Jonathan, and thank you for all you do for our community. Next, we'll allow our civic organizations to give an update on their progress throughout the last year. So we'll start with the Noon Lions and Maggie Collier.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maggie Collier, the president of the Henderson City Lions Club, and we meet every Tuesday at noon, not to be confused with the Breakfast Lions, who meet, obviously, for breakfast. The Henderson Lions Club was incorporated in 1939 as one of over 48,000 clubs that make up the International Association of Lion Clubs. There are nearly 1.4 million lions worldwide, making it the largest service organization in the world, living out the motto, "We serve." Lions are best known for fighting blindness, but lions also care for the environment, feed the hungry, fight childhood cancer, and provide diabetes awareness and prevention. 100% of our funds go directly back into our community, which we're so proud of, and all operating costs are covered by our members. In the past 3 years, our club has donated over $90,000 back into our community in the form of eye care assistance, college scholarships to high school seniors, and grants to local nonprofits. In addition to that $90,000, we were also able to donate $35,000 for COVID-19 relief in our community. $25,000 of that went to HERF, the Henderson Employee Relief Fund, and $10,000 of that was donated to our Salvation Army, who fed over 250 people a day during the pandemic. For those that didn't know that, I remember being very shocked by that, which was double what they typically feed on a daily basis. None of these things would have been possible if it were not for the dedication and devotion of our members and, of course, the support of our community. You will find Lions hard at work at one of our 3 main fundraisers of the year. Our annual auction in February, which is always a blast, selling our famous original lemon shake-ups at the Tri-Fest in April, and the Lions Club Arts and Crafts Festival, which will be coming up in October. So Lions serve and Lions give back. It's really that simple. And we would love to have you join us. So see me or another Lion if you're interested. Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie, and thank you, City Lions, for all you do inside of Henderson. Next up, we'll have Alex Caudell with the Rotary Club.
Thank you, Eric. Good afternoon. I'm Alex Caudell, very proud to be the president of the Henderson Rotary Club, as the microphone spins every which way. There we go. Service above self, that's our motto as Rotarians. For 105 years, Rotarians have been making a difference in our community, in our Commonwealth, and in our world. Whether it was establishing the Rotary Colonels to College Scholarship Fund, funding the new teen room at the Henderson Boys and Girls Club, or supporting the creation of Gallery 101 at the Depot, or coordinating the Archie Reel Rotary Field Day for over 500 kids a year, Rotarians have put service above self into action. And we'll invite you to save the date for Rotary Field Day on September 29th this year. Not the least of which, Rotarians have led the fight to eradicate polio around the world. Of course, throughout the pandemic, we saw dark days, but we saw the best in people shine through. Our club gave back over $150,000 during the height of the pandemic, including small acts of kindness like providing meals for our healthcare heroes. None of this would have been possible without the generosity of over 100 Rotarians, including 21 new members this year. If you're a Henderson Rotarian, would you please stand? There are heroes among us every day shining their light and inspiring us all. Many of them are Lions or Rotarians, making a difference in the world one step at a time. We invite you to join us each Thursday at the Henderson County Public Library for one of our club meetings. Thank you, and shine on. Now I have the great honor to introduce our Rotary past president and assistant district governor, Don Kelsey, who will announce our hometown hero.
Thank you very much. In this day and age, superheroes are easy to find. We turn on our streaming service or we go to Showplace and we see them flying around with a hammer, summoning thunder and lightning, vanquishing the enemy, and saving the universe. But those are fictional. In the real world, heroes are those individuals who put others' needs before their own. They serve and lead with dignity, with kindness, with humility, and with intelligence. Each year, the Henderson Rotary Club presents its Hometown Hero Award to a Hendersonian whose outstanding service and commitment to our community elevate them to the hero status. After high school graduation and 2 years in the Army, our recipient returned home to college and to begin what would be a over 40-year career with our hometown newspaper, The Gleaner. Over those years, our recipient served 22 of them as the publisher, ensuring that the newspaper provided our city with information, stories, a platform that really knitted our community into one whole wonderful place to live. During those years, he served in many capacities on many nonprofit boards. One I know that is close to his heart is St. Anthony's Hospice, where he worked hard to find the funding to construct the Lucy King Smith Hospice Center. As his professional career was starting to wind down, he decided not to choose a leisurely retirement, but to go into the challenging and often thankless arena of public service. First, he served as the chairman of the Henderson Water and Utility Board, and then in 2011, he became mayor, where he has served for the last 3 terms. His achievements are too many for us to enumerate today, but his work has been acknowledged by the Kentucky League of Cities, where he has been awarded the 2 top awards given to elected officials by the league in this state. I wanted to highlight one thing that many people don't know, and of course, because he refuses to take credit, he's never talked about. But in the last 2 years of his term, you might think that he has lightened the load, maybe scaled back, but that's not the case. 2 years ago, Henderson had the opportunity to land a historical industry in our community. But we had a problem. We had a water problem, which Tom Williams and his board was able to handle, but we had a natural gas problem. We had to be able to find natural gas, and we had to find the money in order to change our gas system to get the gas to the Pratt site. As the mayor always does, he picks up the phone and he starts building partnerships. He builds collaboration. He advocates for our community to find the money. As you all probably saw yesterday, the governor announced the $3 million award that came to Henderson to help fund that gas service. Pratt coming to Henderson would not have happened without the mayor and his behind-the-scenes work. You probably haven't heard that because he never seeks credit. He and his lovely wife, Pam, have quietly donated money over the years to so many not-for-profits, but not just to not-for-profit. They've also donated money to individuals who were in dire need. As most of you all know, our mayor is in his 12th and final year of office. He has served tirelessly without credit on projects. He has met with citizens. He has advocated for our community with the sole purpose of improving the lives of Hendersonians. And he does it because he loves us. He loves our community. And that's what makes him a true hometown hero. So it's my privilege to present the 2022 Henderson Rotary Club Hometown Hero Award to Mayor Steve Austin.
Thank you, Don, and thank all of you. You know, what I was thinking about ready to tear up here a little bit because those are very nice presentations, so thank you. But you know, there's 100 people in this room that is worthy of an award and worthy of being able to stand tall in our community, because you do so many things to help our community prosper and do well. We are doing great right now. I'm not going to give you my state of the city yet, but we're doing great right now. And we've got things happening that is going to be impacting this community for our children and our grandchildren. But a lot of you folks in this room contribute to that all the time. And I want to share this with everybody in this room, because you are heroes in our community. So thank you very much. Thank you, Don.
Congratulations, Mayor Austin. Well deserved. And thank you to Alex for your update. And thank you for presenting that award. Next up, we'll bring up Jimmy Phillips with the Breakfast Lions Club.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Phillips. I'm the current president of the Breakfast Lions. We meet on the first and third Tuesdays of every week or every month at 7:15, which is a little early for most people. But anyway, we can go ahead and get our meeting out of the way and then go on with our day. Most people are aware that the Breakfast Lions are the ones that put on the Tri-Fest, and we've had that for 31 years. This year was our most successful year, and we've been able to donate over $21,000 to not-for-profits from this year's proceeds. But over the years, we've donated more than $700,000 to not-for-profit organizations. We also help sponsor with the city of Henderson the Christmas in the Park, and we put up the flags on most federal holidays. If anybody wants to help us do any of those, they're welcome to join the club, and we could appreciate it, because we're down to about 15 members. So we have to, everybody has to pitch in. But with the help of other organizations, we're able to accomplish our task, especially with cooperation from the city of Henderson. The police and the fire and the sanitation department. Without their help, we couldn't have the Tri-Fest. That's about it. So.
Thank you, Jimmy, and thank you to the Breakfast Lions for all they do inside of Henderson community as well. For any of you that are looking to potentially join one of these civic organizations, please reach out to one of these groups and find a way to get engaged inside our community. There's a lot of things that they take on that we don't know about, and ways that you can continue to participate inside our community. So thank you, Jimmy, and thank you, Alex, and thank you, Maggie, for your updates to us today. Next, we'll get on to the meat of the program, and we'll hear from Judge Brad Snyder.
Good afternoon. I want to say thank you to the Chamber, its board, its team, my fellow Lions for being here today. It's always a pleasure to address you, and it's certainly a pleasure to be back in person doing this event again. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great optimism and confidence in the future of this community that we bring to you the declaration that the state of Henderson County is strong, and the government that serves it is in the best financial and strategic position it's been in modern history. Through the diligence, expertise, and dedication of the 200-plus team members who work directly for county government or for one of the agencies we share with the city, the services our citizens expect from us are being delivered at a level of combined consistency, cooperation, effectiveness, fairness, and transparency many longtime observers say they have not seen in decades. In collaboration with fiscal court, our elected officials and department heads, we have managed the county's finances well enough over the last 6 years to give our teams the proper equipment and training they need to best perform their duties, improve their pay and benefits, to acknowledge and reward their value to us and to the people of this community. And we've bolstered our reserve funds to the point that nearly any disaster, unforeseen cost challenge, or economic development opportunity are within our capacity to act on immediately. We've done all that without raising county property, insurance premium, or occupational taxes a single penny in that span. And fiscal court just passed a 22-23 budget that once again leaves our tax levels unchanged. That could not be possible without a spirit of shared commitment and shared goals from those who lead county government, including District 1 Magistrate Keith Berry, District 2 Magistrate Beth Moran, District 3 Magistrate Tim Southern, District 4 Magistrate Butch Putman, and District 5 Magistrate Charles McCullum. In personality, professional experience, philosophy, and political affiliation, the current court is the most diverse in our lifetimes. That has resulted in honest, spirited, respectful, and open debate without the shadow of partisanship. And that has produced better governance. We have with us today Magistrate Berry and Magistrate Moran. Would you please stand up and be recognized? The elected officials and department heads with which fiscal court works every day are devoted to their jobs and the people of this county. They are recognized among their peers around the state as being among the very best in their positions. Henderson County is fortunate to have them working for us. Would Sheriff David Crafton, County Attorney Steve Gold, County Clerk Renisa Abner, Jailer Amy Brady, County Engineer Nick Stallings, and Coroner Bruce Farmer, please stand. Please also help me thank the directors of agencies that are closely partnered with county government, including City County Airport Director Alan Bennett, Human Rights Commission Director Charles Johnson, Emergency Management Director Kenny Garrett, City County Rescue Squad Chief Brian Coghill, Flood Mitigation Board Chairman Buzzy Newman, City County Planning Commission Director Brian Bishop, Humane Society and Animal Control Chairman Kendra Strawn, Economic Development Director Missy Vanderpool, Tourist Commission Director Abby Dixon, and Property Valuation Administrator Andrew Powell. The efforts of all these folks and their teams over the last year have resulted in numerous accomplishments and achievements that have benefited county residents. The list is too long to recite completely, but I'll give you some highlights. The county clerk's team has helped spearhead the development of the voting center model for elections in Kentucky. These one-stop shop polling places are easier for voters to use and easier to staff. Also, Henderson County will act as a pilot program for an election auditing process this November that will eventually be used in all counties. The Sheriff's Department has stepped up its efforts to recruit new deputies and now has a nearly full complement of officers either in the field protecting you now or training to get their full credentials. The Sheriff's Department just recently completed agreements with the Henderson Police Department to collaborate on narcotics investigations, firearms training, and active shooter response. And finally, the department even has a new police dog, Bricks, and he's handled by K-9 Officer James Evelyn. The Road Department, which maintains 426 centerline miles of roads, managed the laying down of just over 24,000 tons of new asphalt last fall and moved 64,000 tons of material during the course of its work. Our Parks Department completed the walking trail at Sandy Lee Watkins Park, including finding and refurbishing yet another antique bridge. The Recycling Department sold a record number of commodities. And please also help me recognize our recently retired county engineer, Bill Hubiak, who served this county for 25 years and did an amazing job. The detention center continued to battle the COVID threat to its deputies and inmates. And while COVID nearly ended the jail's community service program, they still managed to raise a large community garden that not only helped defer expenses by helping feed inmates at the jail, but also served for food banks around the community. And the building that housed those activities is now being remodeled into a regional Real ID and driver's license branch, which should be open soon. Henderson might otherwise have lost its licensing office. Our emergency management team jumped into action to help our fellow Kentuckians impacted by the tornadoes in December. Kenny Garrett, along with our coroner, our sheriff's department, and road department, all pitched in at the disaster sites in the days and weeks after the storm, and you'd have been proud of all of them. Our EMA office has now been tabbed by the National Weather Service to develop a county-level weather preparedness protocol that could be used by other communities across the nation. The team in the judge's office has worked through 3 different retirements to keep the trains running on time for the rest of the departments. We've completed major upgrades and repairs to the courthouse. We've helped secure more than $600,000 in FEMA reimbursements to the county for past flooding incidents, and thank you, Kurt Wiesen, for that. We've received our 6th straight positive county audit, and for the 3rd straight year, the audit contained not a single finding. Our county attorney's office kept up their frenetic pace despite some turnover and retirements on their team also, and they provided key expertise in a complete review and update of both the county's ordinances and its administrative code. Steve Gold's crew collected $766,000 in delinquent taxes and $5.6 million in child support and arrearage payments. Turning to the county's economy, we are in the midst of one of the greatest periods of public and private investment in our community's history. In the last 2 years, right now, and in the next 3 years, nearly $1 billion is being spent in Henderson County to create new jobs, new infrastructure, and new prosperity. You all know about the arrival of Pratt Industries, and I'm sure the mayor will make comments about that, and I'll leave the details to him. But Henderson County government was proud to be a key partner in that project with the city, Kentucky Economic Development Cabinet, Henderson Economic Development, utility companies, and all the other agencies that helped seal that deal. It was truly a team effort, and it was amazing to have a seat at that table and watch that happen. But the good news extends beyond Pratt. Just in the last 6 months, we've celebrated new jobs and new investment at Columbia Sportswear, Ellis Park, Accuride, Cytex, and just this morning, Hydro Aluminum announced it will be investing $15 million more in the smelter here, and that should keep that facility employing Henderson County for years to come. Right now in Henderson County, jobs are plentiful, wages are up, home values are up, and there is more good news on the way. Within the next few weeks, we expect to announce 2 more significant economic development projects that will create more than 100 good-paying jobs, and in one of those cases, create a major boost to our local grain farmers. For Pratt, Columbia, and these 2 new projects, the county has committed $2.75 million in cash incentives. We did that because we could, and we now have the financial strength to compete for opportunities against larger communities. We have major infrastructure projects on the way. The new Spotsville Bridge will be open for use within the next 2 months. And the beginning of the construction on Section 1 of the I-69 bridge is a major victory for Henderson County and Western Kentucky. A small army of advocates in our state and in Indiana have worked for decades on I-69 to get it to this point. And to see it actually come to fruition is both amazing and inspirational. Western Kentuckians can really do anything we set our collective minds to. And the next thing we're going to do is advocate with all of our might to make sure the states of Indiana and Kentucky maintain both twin bridges forever and ever. For years now, another form of infrastructure, affordable high-speed internet service, has been missing for rural residents of our county. Fiscal Court, along with other counties in the region, has spent time, money, and political capital over the last several years to try to fix that. In 2021, we landed a $350,000 grant to help Watch Communications upgrade and expand its wireless internet options here, and those new technologies are now up and running. But I have even better news. On August 9th, Kenergy, our primary electric co-op in this region, will announce that in partnership with a company called Connexon, it will officially move forward on building a cutting-edge fiber network that will provide every current rural Kenergy power customer connection to the internet at speeds up to 1 gigabyte per second and at prices that will match or even better those charged by other providers. The network will take a couple years to build out completely, but customers will not have to wait until the entire project is done to get service. Sections of service will be switched on as they are created. We'll soon be getting more details on a preliminary timeline for Henderson County residents, and if a portion of the county's $6+ million in remaining federal COVID recovery funds can help speed that timeline for our county, we will be ready to spend that money. Fiscal Court is also keenly aware that our county and its residents face challenges now and in the near future. COVID, inflation, supply chains, workforce shortages, housing options, child care, a potential recession. These are all very real issues, and they impact county government as well as households here. Fiscal Corp has helped where it could. At the height of the pandemic, we gave $60,000 to the Henderson Employee Relief Fund. Last year, our first expenditures of federal grant funds were $300,000 to help local nonprofits continue to provide services to our community and even look ahead to projects that could perpetuate their missions. We gave $500,000 to Henderson Community College to help it offer training on advanced technology so folks needing good jobs could get back in the workforce, and those needing better jobs could enhance their careers. And all of that is in addition to the $350,000 we budget each year for a variety of charitable organizations. No matter what the world throws at us, we have the confidence this community can adapt, improvise, come. Here's an example. From 2019 to today, the county has recorded a net gain of 391 new business licenses. Those are businesses with Henderson County addresses. Of those 3.5 years, the 12-month period that had the greatest growth in new licenses was 2020, when the pandemic was at its worst. Instead of succumbing to lockdowns, many entrepreneurs became even more aggressive. And that spirit will help us power through any economic turbulence we experience, in my belief. To aid that effort, Fiscal Court will continue to shepherd its resources wisely and transparently so that we can provide relevant, effective services without placing undue burdens on businesses and people in this county. We will respect and nurture our county employees so they can continue to serve the people of this community. And we will maintain our strong relationships with our friends at the city, local agencies, our neighbors in the region, as well as our elected officials and government leaders in Frankfort and Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, we will do everything we can to keep the momentum going and assure Henderson County stays strong. Thank you. On a personal note, Steve Austin and Ron Jenkins hired me at the Gleaner in 1988, my first job out of college. I was 22 years old. Now I'm 57, 35 years. Not a day goes by I don't miss Ron Jenkins. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't appreciate the friendship and mentorship of Mayor Austin. He's given me so much over the decades. I think back 1988, I doubt he could have imagined the day when he would be mayor. And I, of all people, the naive young sports reporter, would work alongside him as judge executive. It has truly been my honor. Steve has served this city with passion, and I'm proud and thankful to have him in my life. Mayor, job well done. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Linda White, associated with the Deaconess Henderson Hospital, and proud of that. We're going to take a brief survey. Is there anyone in this room that is a native Henderson, Kentucky resident and grew up on North Main Street and lived in a 6-family apartment house? Is there anyone in the room that matches that description? Is there? Please stand. Please stand. If you match. Oh, okay. The gentleman in the pink coat. You may sit. All right. Okay. Is there anyone in this room that attended Holy Name High School and Community Henderson College and the Evansville College, now known as University of Evansville, and attended Harvard Business School classes? If you match that description, please stand. Please stand. Stand. I don't see anyone. The gentleman in the pink jacket, you've already been standing once, so go ahead, sit down again. Okay. Is there anyone in this room that has been a third-term mayor that is much respected, admired, trusted, and I might as well go ahead and say loved by the community of Henderson, and is the mayor of the Henderson, Kentucky, Mayor Steve Austin? Please come up. You can't sit down on that one. So I introduce you to Mayor Steve Austin.
Linda is another one of our heroes, and she's my hero, I'll tell you that, because of what she has done in the course of just a few years to completely turn the situation around at Deaconess Henderson Hospital, formerly Community Methodist Hospital, we have a hospital today that stands tall with any around. So thank you for your work on that. I appreciate the opportunity to be with you today and to visit with you. I always enjoy this day. And I just wanted to mention to you that we have a new city flag, and that city flag was suggested and designed by a young creative autistic student at Henderson County High School by the name of Jax Matthews. And Jax put that together, presented it to the City Commission, and we are using that now as our official city flag. And I thank Jax and his family. And I've got to, first off, just recognize our city commissioners. They work together. We all work together for the best of this community. No selfish things involved. Those commissioners are well prepared. They know their business and they know their job. And we disagree at times, but we never are disagreeable. So that's something to be proud of. Now I get on to the state of our city. Of course, we're not without issues, as everybody has issues, but we are in very good shape, and I'm proud to let you know that. Pratt, I could talk for my entire time period on this Pratt progression that went through over the course of about 12 weeks. We were not even on the list for Pratt to look at. They had an organization, a search organization, really high-end, that were looking for them, Deloitte, and they were looking for a spot for them, and they were in southern Indiana. And the southern Indiana couldn't handle the utility situation. So they looked on the map and found out that Henderson was right across the river, knew we had a strong utility situation with all of our utilities, saw that we had some land available, kind of a mega site for an industry. And so they came over and took a look at it. And these people right up here in this picture, Tom Williams, Missy, Whitney, and Buzzy Newman, sold Pratt on Henderson, Kentucky. Deloitte said when they came in, when we sat at the table, one of the very first things they said is, our job is not to pick a site, our job is to eliminate sites. They could not eliminate Henderson. We wouldn't let it happen. So I really appreciate that. Buzzy and Missy were the key people on that, but all of those people in that picture, plus many, many more, were very instrumental in getting Pratt ready. One of the things with this operation is that we have got a lot of utility work to do, both water, sewer, and natural gas. And we're very fortunate that we've got really good help. We've applied for a lot of grants and a lot of money from the state and the federal government, and we've received now about $4.5 million in grant money to help us put in this 7-mile service area with high volume, high pressure pipes for the natural gas. Unbelievable amount of stuff. But in addition to Pratt, this upgrade will also benefit all the other businesses and prospective businesses in the south region of our utility services. And that includes like one of our top 10 gas and water sewer companies, Hydro Aluminum, who Brad mentioned that was going to do a $15 million expansion. They're going to need more utility and more services, and this will help on that as well. Also, the 4-Star Park, we can help with some water sewer things there. And the Riverport, all of the Riverport. And, but this is a work in progress. And this is a work in progress. This is the start up of the facility, the Pratt facility. And hundreds of thousands of cubic feet of concrete have gone into this. And worlds of people, I mean, there's like 300 people out there on some days working on all of these things. I'll go over here to point out. This structure right here is where a big mill sheet-fed, kind of like a sheet-fed paper machine will be sitting. And then it'll have recycling areas and all that 100% recycling. So that's what it looks like now. If you go out there in a week, it'll look different because it'll have a roof on it probably and have this, that, and the other. So they really move it along on it. And there's going to be opportunities for 350 or more people to be employed by Pratt. And that doesn't include some transportation possibilities for people. It's going to be a real game changer for our community. We've got another thing that I want to talk to you about today. You know, we've been talking about, and there have been questions about for a good while about housing, single-family housing in Henderson, and that we don't have enough of it, and we especially don't have enough of it if these companies that we're working with keep hiring more and more employees and bringing employees in. And so about 6 months ago, Buzzy and some other folks started working on a plan with a major housing developer. And I can tell you that next week, we expect to sign a contract with that major housing contractor to build up to 300 new homes over the next 7 years and put in a multi-million-dollar infrastructure package to go with that. We will also have some space there available for retail and service businesses and those type of things. And we have some other good possibilities on housing. I believe that we will have a housing operation take place off of Watson Lane, and I think there may be maybe 20, start out with 15, maybe end up with 30 possibilities on Watson Lane. And there's other city locations that we're working with builders on that. So I think if we're lucky and everything goes through, we may have solved that problem as far as housing long term. So I think that's a very good thing. One thing that we've been working on, and I'm sure you've been hearing a lot about, is that sports complex out on Airline Road. It'll go before the Planning Commission next week, and they will do a study on it and this, that, and the other. And we've invited the residents from across the road over there to come and visit with us. But Deaconess Health is the naming sponsor on this complex. And what really it started by trying to do something with the PCMA or Pee Wee League fields out on Outer 2nd Street. They're in terrible shape. It's just, they got ruts, and it's just, they're 50, 60, 70 years old, and it's just in terrible shape. So we were looking for a place to convert that. That's our biggest number of kids is in that PCMA league to participate. And then it'll give us the opportunity to also eventually move the Atkinson Park Little League type parks up to this facility. And the plan is, if it all works out right, is that the Atkinson Park will become an adult sports complex area for the baseball team that's up there now, some adult softball and things like that, and keeping all of that in one place and having the kids out here. One of the important things on this, though, is we don't have a lot of fields for soccer, lacrosse, and football practice and things like that. So there's 3 fields over here that will be dedicated to that. We have a larger baseball field up there, that future field, that will be for tournament situations. And then down here in the bottom, there's a future indoor training center or indoor building where basketball, volleyball, and pickleball and things like that could take place. So I think we will break ground on this probably in the next 30 days if things go well, and looking forward for them to help us. You don't have to look very far to see that construction is around every place. You know, the county judge mentioned the I-69, the phase 1. This was the groundbreaking up there. That's the governor in the middle. The guy on the end over there about to lose his hat. My head wouldn't fit the hat, or the hat wouldn't fit my head, or something. I don't know what it was. But anyway, we'll have 2 phases of this I-69 coming up. This first phase is from about the 425 bypass into across 60 up near the where the overpass is on 60 out there, close to Mr. Hopper's house. And the second phase will be from there, the approach, and then going across the river. And so Indiana will be working on the same thing coming this direction. And it's the bridge itself is a 50-50 situation between the 2 states. And as Brad said, all you had to do is be out on 41 yesterday to know how important that keeping 2 bridges open, both of those existing bridges open. We had traffic backed up yesterday all the way back to the 425 bypass, 4 miles. Traffic was backed up. And we have a world of people that work in Henderson, live in Evansville and work in Henderson. They live in Henderson, work in Evansville, and you just can't have that kind of a situation. The new bridge will help a lot. It'll give an alternative, but we need both of those existing bridges to be standing. We're going to help work with the state on the Watson Lane intersection with 41 to enlarge that intersection. That's going to be a big deal. Watson Lane is going to be completely rebuilt. We think there's some other good things that are happening out there, and the golf course, and there's about 5 or 6 new houses being built right now on the Green River Road side of the golf course, and I think there's been 10 built just in the last maybe 8 months or something like that in that area. So we're going to add some sidewalks on Green River Road to help Bengate walk to school situations between Osage and Bengate Road. South Adams and Sand Lane, we're adding sidewalks to support the Jefferson School. And also, we'll have about $1 million that we will be spending on existing roads, streets, paving, fixing sidewalks, and all of that this year. So there's a lot of construction going on. One of the things that I'm proud of, and I notice it every day, you just can't help but notice it, is the downtown Henderson. There is stuff going on. There's events going on. There's restaurants. There's shops. Hard to get a parking place. When would we ever thought you'd have a hard time getting a parking place at 6 o'clock at night in downtown Henderson? But it is busy down there. We have some aggressive young leadership at our chamber, our downtown partnership, and tourism. And they are really driving a lot of energy into our downtown area. This is one of the events that just happened recently, but you know how many events we're having, just one after another, and they're all being well attended. I want to mention our library. I'm so proud of our library. That is a library that you don't see in cities the size of Henderson. It is a special opportunity for our community and our citizens to have a special library, and I'm really proud of that. And I want to say the city worked with the state to get the property for the old Armory property for the Boys and Girls Club, and I'm happy that we could do that. It worked out really well. We had some help out of the governor's office to move that along, and it's going to work out well for that organization. We got some more opportunities. That we're moving the electric utility. It will leave the 5th and Water Street area and we'll be moving out on Barrett Boulevard behind Walmart. That's going to become available for reuse in some manner. The Big Rivers building, they will be moving probably in a year or so. We already have about 3 prospects that have shown some interest in that building. And the Imperial building is being reworked. And then there's some other things, on Main Street and around. I can't tell you exactly what they are yet because they're still in the planning process. But there's a lot going on that's going to benefit the downtown area. And I think it's just, it's going to keep getting better and better. We're not without some challenges, of course, as everybody's having challenges right now. We're having challenges with hiring police officers. We had a lot of retirements over the last 3 years. We're having problems with lesser problems, hiring fire department and trash sanitation workers, street workers. The 2 things, it's hard work, and also it's hard to pay for the city to pay up to the standard that some other places are paying. But we're working on that, and we've got some plans on it. I think Buzzy is working on it with the HR department. We're going up incrementally and have last year, this year, and hopefully we'll be able to do that in the future so we can stay competitive in that. Our utilities, which I'm going to mention our utilities. We have what might be the 3 best utilities in the state of Kentucky for service and pricing. My daughter Stephanie got her utility bill yesterday. It was about, her house is probably maybe not as big as my house, a lot less square foot. Her utility bill was 1/3 more than what my utility bill was for electric, water, sewer, and gas. We are in a very good situation. We have the lowest utility rates in the state of Kentucky, and I think we have the best service in the state of Kentucky. So I think we're very fortunate with that. And folks that are here and work in our utilities, thank you for what you do. As you know, I'll be leaving office here in just a little bit. There he goes. December 31st will be the end of my 3-year term. It has been absolutely enjoyable for me. I have been so fortunate in my life that I have, all the 42 years I worked at the Gleaner and the 12 years I worked for the city, I've never dreaded getting up and going to work in the morning. All that time. Never a single day. And that's a great thing to have in your life. I have had the opportunity to work with some people that are behind the scenes a little bit. You don't see them every day, but they're doing a lot of work on your behalf. We have some of the finest and smartest people in our community that are working for the city right now. We have some good, our areas that are tough areas to work in, like the utility collection. We've got some really good people in there now. They know what they're doing, they know how to do it, and they know how customer service should be done. In the management areas, we're as good as what we can be. We don't. We're in really, really good shape, and I'm proud of that. I want to go into one more here. I think we got one more. There's a couple of new things too. One is a city app. One of our IT people, a young people that's doing an intern in Henderson, put together an app. It's got calendar on there, calendar stuff, news, meetings, bill pay, jobs, photo galleries, and you can sign up with that through Apple or the Android thing, whatever it is. I don't know. But anyway, you can sign. There it is down there. Google Play. Punch that button down there, and you'll go right to it. I bet. But that's kind of a neat thing. Another neat thing is this 42420 newsletter that Donna Stinnett does on behalf of the city. It's 4, 5, 6 pages of news and information about what's going on around our community. If you would like to get that newsletter by email every month, you can email me or email Donna Stinnett, and we will put you on the list. We have about 1,000 citizens now that are on that list to get that 42420 newsletter. So you'll enjoy it, and it'll get you some information that you're not getting anyplace else now. Information is hard to come by now. Information was hard to come by yesterday when nobody knew the darn bridge crew was going to be working over there. I talked to the state this morning. I said, what in the is going on? And you know what they told me? Nobody told us they were going to be working on that bridge. We would usually put out an announcement. Nobody told us. Anyway. All right. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Or we don't have any comments. But any questions? Anything? We're doing well. Thank everybody in this room for how they support our communities. We have a tremendous working relationship with the county. One of the things I did 11 and a half years ago is help put together a city-county cooperative group, and it's made up of 2 county fiscal court members, 2 city commissioners, and they meet monthly and work on things and look at things that have impacts on both the city and the county, and that has really worked out well. And the judge has always been very helpful, and the judge was instrumental in this Pratt thing, helping us on several projects, so we really appreciate that as well. I want to mention one thing to you. What does a 4-year-old, and a pair of yoga pants have in common? Anybody know? 4-year-old, a drunk, and a pair of yoga pants. They won't lie to you. Thank y'all.
All right, I don't know that I can. I thought he said a 4-year-old drunk. I don't know. Hey, Judge, can I get you up here for a second? So, a lot of times when you give a speaker a gift, you see big bottles of bourbon or food baskets or something. So, don't be fooled by the size of the gift. These are the coveted chamber gift cards. So they can buy all the bourbon and food they'd like. So, give them a round of applause and thank you. All right, I should have known it'd be long-winded, so we're on overtime, but real quickly I need to say thank you to our chamber team and the volunteers that put this on. If the staff and volunteers would rise up and give them a round of applause, please. We do have a lot of events this year, but we have a wonderful staff. We have great volunteers, so I'm very much a blessing to see this thing pulled off. This afternoon, if you don't have enough Henderson Chamber in you, there's a ribbon cutting in about 15 minutes now. Literally, it opens at 1:30 at the home place of Henderson. Tours at 2 o'clock, ribbon cutting at 2:30. If you can make that, that would be wonderful, and I know they would appreciate the attendance. Bridget's Boutique on August 9th at 10:30 in the morning at Salon 421 on South Main. Exciting to have another chamber member open a door to our community. And there's also on August 10th a networking breakfast at the library. And if you haven't attended those, go do that because they are well attended and it's a great time to meet and greet. So congratulations to our award winners. Representative Jonathan Dixon, congratulations. Mayor Austin, always a hero, my friend, so good job. That concludes the Chamber of City and County. Have a wonderful day and be blessed beyond measure. Take care. Thank you.